Yo guys, back to the channel. So in this video we are going to compare everything from the design, display, chipset, camera samples, gaming benchmarks, thermals and lots more about the new F7 Pro and F7 Ultra by POCO. So by the end of this video we should have a pretty good idea between these two smartphones. Now let's begin with the prices. At the time of shooting this video, the prices have not yet been announced, but from the rumors, POCO F7 Pro would probably start from around £440 and the POCO F7 Ultra will probably start from around £739. So if the rumors are true, the Ultra model is around £300 more in price. Is it worth that extra cash? Well, that's what we'll find out in this video. Let's quickly compare what comes with both phones. So, as expected, exactly the same accessories being offered. So both come with a Type-C to USB-A charging cable. We get fast charges in both, but the Ultra model comes with a 120-watt charger, and the Pro model comes with a 90-watt charger. They are both also bundled with a silicone case. Now for the design, both phones share the same build quality and design with space-grade aluminum frames, rounded corners, and they both have glass backs. The Ultra has a curved glass back and you can see a subtle curve around the edges, and the F7 Pro has a flat glass back panel. Both phones feature a combination finish to the design. So the top section are both glossy and you've got matte finishes for the bottom section. I have the F7 Ultra in black and the F7 Pro in silver. They both do feel quite premium and very well made, and both phones are also IP68 certified for dust and water resistance. Now in terms of dimensions, both phones are 160.2mm in height and 74.95mm in width. Same height and width, but in thickness, the Ultra is 8.3mm versus the 8.1 of the other model. Weight-wise, the F7 Ultra is 212 grams versus the 206 of the other model. So nearly the same dimensions, but the Ultra is a few millimeters thicker and a few grams heavier, but not enough to notice. Difference when you're holding them both in your hands, that is. Now let's check out those camera bumps. So the F7 Ultra has 3 rear cameras and the F7 Pro has 2. Both have the same round camera buff design with the same LED flash on the right. The Ultra model has this dark orange trim around the inside of the round module and the Pro does not. And more details on the cameras and samples coming up later in the video. Now let's talk displays. They both have exactly the same 6.67-inch 2K 120Hz AMOLED display screen resolutions, 3200 by 1440 with 5 to 6 pixels per inch and 3200 nits of peak brightness. Both screens support Dolby Vision and HDR10+, and they are both 12-bit displays with 100 dci IP3 color space, but there is just one single difference. In the F7 Ultra, it has POCO sheet glass protection on top, and the F7 Pro has Gorilla Glass 7i protection on top. That is the only difference in the displays. Now let's quickly compare the ports. As expected, exactly the same port layout on both phones. So at the bottom we have SIM trays, microphone, Type-C charging port and speaker, and I do want to quickly confirm neither phone supports display out via Type-C. Another side we have our volume and power buttons in exactly the same location. Up on top we have nothing, and the secondary speaker is located on the earpiece of both phones, and on the other side again we have nothing now. Both phones do have IR blasters built in and it's hidden within the camera modules, which is very interesting and cool. Alright, now let's talk about batteries. The F7 Ultra has a 5300 mAh battery built-in versus a 6000 mAh on the F7 Pro. So strangely, the Pro model has a slightly bigger battery than the Ultra model. Also, charging speeds. The Ultra model supports 1-to-1 hypercharging versus 90 watts hypercharging the Pro model, and both come with the fast chargers included in the box. The F7 Ultra can achieve 100 charge in around 34 minutes, and the F7 Pro can achieve the same in around 37 minutes. The F7 Ultra benefits from 50 watts wireless charging, but the Pro model does not support wireless charging at all. Alright, so now it's time to check out the sounds. Both smartphones feature dual stereo speakers, and both support Dolby Atmos sound. So here is a quick sound test. Okay, so now let's talk processing power. Both phones are powered by Snapdragon. The F7 Ultra has the latest Snapdragon 8 Elite, which is a 3nm octa-core processor, clocked at 4.32 GHz, and the F7 Pro is powered by last year's Snapdragon 8103, which is a 4nm optical, clocked at 3.3 GHz for graphics. The F7 Ultra has the Adreno A30 versus the Adreno 750. The Ultra model also benefits from additional Vision Boost D7 chipset, which pushes the visuals further, giving you a smart frame rate up to 120 frames per second at 2K resolution. Gaming. Both phones feature LPDDR5 XRAM and UFS 4.1 storage. The F7 Ultra is available in either 12 or 16 gigs of RAM, and the Pro version only comes with 12 gigs of RAM, and for storage, both phones will give you the option for either 256 or 512 gigs of internal storage, and both phones support virtual RAM that you expand by up to 16 gigs, and the Pro version lets you expand by up to 12. Also, neither phone support microSD expansion or headphone jacks. Now let's compare benchmark results, starting off with Geekbench. So we can see the Ultra has achieved a single core score of 2908 versus a single core score of 2123, and multi-core score of 8650 versus 6659. And here are the AnTuTu results. So the F7 Ultra achieves 2.4 million versus 1.8 million in the Pro model. So from the benchmarks, as expected, the Snapdragon 8 Elite is the newer and more powerful chipset, but they both feature liquid core technology 4.0, so both designed to hold well under heavy gaming loads. They both also feature the Wide Boost Optimization 4.0, which takes performance to the next level, giving you a smoother AI-driven performance, sharper visuals, immersive audio, and precise controls. So let's put them both to the test and see how they both handle some intensive gaming. Alright, so first of all, COD, graphics settings. Maximum selectable graphics on both phones is maximum graphics in maximum frame rate. If we select ultra frame rate, the graphics drops down to medium on both, so let's lead them. Both maxed out and test out some gameplay. I also have an on-screen FPS and thermal counter, so we can keep an eye on the performance and the thermals. So let's jump straight into some gameplay. The thermal monitor started out around 28 degrees Celsius and we ended up at 33. No throttling at all, so gameplay was super smooth all the way through, and we were achieving close to 120 frames per second. Alright, so let's swap phones now and pick up the F7 Pro and test out some gameplay. So let's have a quick look at the thermals. We started at 29 degrees Celsius and we ended at 33, no throttling devices. Operating normally, and we were achieving 60 frames per second. Consistently all throughout the game. Alright, now enough gaming. Let's check out the cameras. Both phones offer a flagship camera experience. The Ultra has 3 cameras and the Pro version has 2. So they both offer the same primary sensor, which is the Light Fusion 800 50-megapixel sensor, also known as the OmniVision OV50 Light Hunter 800. This is a popular sensor used in many smartphones and the future named Xiaomi Mixed Fold 4, Redmi Note 14 Pro Plus, the Redmi K70 and the Xiaomi 14 CV, they all have the same primary sensor. The F7 Ultra has also a second 50 megapixel telephoto lens, and based on the Redmi K80 it could be the Samsung JN5 image sensor as seen in the OnePlus 13R. The third sensor on the F7 Ultra is a 32 megapixel ultra wide, and again based on the Redmi K80 this could very well be the Samsung KD1. Last seen in the Xiaomi 14T, the 14T Pro, the Vivo X200 and the Vivo X200 Pro. All of these phones use the KD1 or KDI, I'm not sure, sensor as their selfie camera, but we're seeing that KDI or 1 sensor as an ultra wide in the smartphone. And on the front we have a 20 megapixel selfie camera. Now onto the F7 Pro's dual cameras. So we have the same primary sensor. As I already mentioned, the Light Fusion 850 megapixel sensor. The second camera is an 8 megapixel sensor, and based on the Redmi 80, this could also be the OmniVision over 08 diode. And this sensor has been used as a selfie camera in the OnePlus Nord N20 SE, the Upper A77 and the Oppo A77s. And on the front we have a 20 megapixel selfie camera. So let's go ahead and check out some side-by-side camera samples and see the differences for ourselves. So starting off with 8K at 24 frames per second. This is 4K 60, OK 65, 4K 30 on both 30 frames. Quick look at the DRMs. You can see both have wide Vine Level 1 certifications, and you can see here all the HDR formats that are supported, and both support Netflix with Dolby Vision and spatial audio. Here is CPU Z, where you can check out the clock speeds, and you can see here Adreno 830 versus Adreno 750, and both running Android 15 with Xiaomi's latest HyperOS version 2 on top, and expected to receive at least 4 years of Android updates and 5 years of security patches. Furthermore, here are the results for the internal disk speeds. So F7 Ultra achieves read speeds of 1616 versus 1827 and write speeds of 933 versus 594 megabytes per second. So there you have it, guys. That was my comparison between the POCO F7 Ultra versus the POCO F7 Pro. So let me break it down for you. The POCO F7 Ultra has a much powerful chipset with the Snapdragon 8 Elite. You've got the additional Extra Vision Boost D7 chipset as well. And as a result, we're getting a much better gaming performance with no throttling issues at all. And it sustained highest frame rates and no overheating. The Ultra will also give you wireless charging at 50 watts. You get faster wire charging at 120 watts. It's got POCO Shield glass compared to Gorilla Glass 7. And I can't really say at this stage if it's going to be better scratch resistant or better drop resistant than the Gorilla Glass 7i. The camera performance from both were quite similar and pretty decent on both, but you can nitpick between them, and I'm sure you guys have already decided which cameras you like the best. So do let me know in the comments which one you prefer. Also, the F7 newer version on Bluetooth, which is Bluetooth version 6. Now the positive point of the F7 Pro, it has a bigger 6000 mAh battery compared to the Ultra's 5300 mAh. It's very slightly slimmer and very slightly lighter. You also get fast charging in 90 watts compared to the Ultra's 120 watts. You've got dual cameras, but the performance will pretty much on par with each other, especially as both phones do have the same primary sensor and we've got Bluetooth 5.4, and then we'll quickly point out what both phones share in common. So they both have IP68 certification, they both support Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos. You've got exactly the same screens, both 120Hz, both aluminum, and glass build quality. Both feature Wi-Fi 7 and they both have ultrasonic fingerprint sensors. So that's pretty much sums it all up, guys. I hope this video has helped you see the main differences between these two smartphones. Comment which phone from these you would want to use as your own daily driver. It will be nice to hear from your thoughts. Now, if you want to see more of my latest and non-biased tech reviews, hit the like button, sub to the channel and hit the bell icon. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have an amazing day. I'll catch you on in the next one. Peace.